Hello Yari, this is my assignment, the first video of my assignment. So number one is velouté. Velouté is made of roux and stock. So it's a white sauce that is made of roux, that is flour, equal amount of flour and equal amount of butter. So 40 grams of flour, 40 grams of butter and 1 liter of stock. Then we move to crème. Crème is also a white sauce made of bechamel and cream. So for making the bechamel, we need to also make a we saute, we melt butter, put in the flour, then we put in milk. Then we make the milk boil for a while. When the bechamel is ready, then we add cream and cheese to it for the crème. Then we have the soupe. Soupe, we make it with we make it like a stock. We saute onion, carrots, and we add beans to it. We saute it for a while. Then we add potato. We saute it for a while. Then when the potato is, we add stock to it. Then we boil it. We add we will blend. So before we add the pasta, we make sure the potato is a little bit soft. Then we add pasta to it for it to boil with it. Then after that, we add crushed garlic and blended basil to it and some seasoning, and our soup is ready. We have puree. Puree is actually making vegetable smooth. So we boil vegetables, say carrot or potato, we boil it, then we blend it with the boiled water into a smooth form, and that is a puree. Puree can be for vegetables or fruits. We have the biscuit. The biscuit is made from smooth creamy, it's a smooth creamy sauce or soup. It's made from lobster or crab or shrimps. So this one we will saute carrot, celery and onion together. We can start from sauteing onion or we can start everything together. Then we add, after we have sauteed the vegetables, we add brandy to it. Then we will mix it together. We add rice, we add tomatoes, then we add our shrimps to it. We add the stock that we are using for it. Then we can add parsley, thyme, puree, and then we will, after everything is cooked together, we will puree it. That is, we will blend it to become smooth, and our bisque is ready. We have a consomme. Consomme is a soup that is typically consumed by its own. So we have, the ingredients are onion, celery, garlic, tarragon, parsley, bay leaf, water. So we saute the onion, celery, garlic, carrots, everything. We saute all the ingredients together. Then we add the water to it. So we will make the water to reduce. When the water reduces, then we strain it. So that stock that we have is called the consomme. Then we have the minestrone. The minestrone is a thick sauce made from carrot, tomatoes, rice, pasta. It can be made from rice or pasta or both. Then beans, onions, potatoes, celery, and we can add croutons to it. So this thick soup, we make it, we will saute the onion, celery, carrots, and we will add the potatoes to it. We saute everything together. Then you add your rice or pasta or both to it. Then we will make it boil for a while. Then we add the beans to it. We add the stock, make it boil for a while. Then we add the beans to it, make it boil for a while. Then after that, we add some seasoning, and our minestrone is also ready. We can also add croutons to the minestrone and add some cheese to it. So the first one is done. Then we move to the dressings. We have mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is made from egg yolk, mustard, red wine vinegar, and oil. So we add all the ingredients except the oil together. We can add some black pepper to it and salt together. Then we begin to whisk it with a machine. Then we will add the oil little by little until the mayonnaise is ready. We have vinaigrette. So vinaigrette is made from red wine vinegar and oil. Then we add some sugar, salt, and pepper to it. So 1 part of red wine vinegar to 2 parts of oil. So if you have 1 dl red wine vinegar, you have 2 dl of oil. Then you use it for the vinaigrette. You mix everything together. You add salt and pepper. Then our vinaigrette is ready. Then we have our sauce remoulade. That is a cold sauce. It is made from horseradish, paprika, anchovies, tarragon, parsley, capers, and it's like the base of this sauce is mayonnaise. So we first make a mayonnaise, then we chop all the other ingredients into fine. We chop it fine into brunoise. Then we add everything together. So we will first make a mayonnaise like I've already explained. We add a little bit of Dijon mustard. Then we chop the horseradish finely, paprika we chop it fine, anchovies we chop it fine, capers we chop it fine, tarragon we chop it fine, parsley we chop it fine. Then we add everything to it, stir it together, add salt, and we are done for the sauce remoulade. Then we have Rhode Island. So this one too has mayonnaise as the base. So we have mayonnaise. We add it's made from mayonnaise, sour cream, chili sauce, and white pepper and salt. So we mix everything together: mayonnaise, sour cream, chili sauce, white pepper, and salt. We mix everything together, and our Rhode Island is also. We move to the number 3, the sauces. We have sauce velouté. I've already explained it about, but I will still explain. So sauce velouté is made from 40 grams of flour, 40 grams of butter. We melt everything together. We will fry it in the pan to be a little like golden brown. Then you add your 1 liter of stock, and you will make it reduce, and then when it thickens you take it out, add salt and pepper to it, and if you want you can add cream to it. Then we move to sauce bechamel. Sauce bechamel is made from the base roux. We make the roux from butter and flour, fry everything together, then we add milk to it, make it reduce, simmer for a while. When it is thickened and it is ready, we add your pepper and salt, and our sauce bechamel is ready. Sauce bechamel plus cheese is sauce mornay. So mornay has its base as sauce bechamel, so we add cheese to it, and we have our sauce mornay. Then we have sauce hollandaise. So sauce hollandaise, we will first make our reduction, which is made from white wine, lemon, white wine vinegar. So we will saute onion in butter. Then we add these 3 liquids: white wine vinegar, and lemon juice. We add everything, these 3 liquids, to the sauteed onion, make it boil into half. We reduce the liquid, then we put it aside. Then we will take our egg yolk. We will then we will make a bain marie. Then we take our egg yolk, we will mix our egg yolk with the reduction, then we will put it in the bain marie. We will then whisk it until the freshness of the egg is until it becomes thick. That is the liquid and the egg yolk becomes thickened. Then we will melt butter and pour everything into it little by little on the bain marie, while we are stirring it together, stirring it very fast, whisking it very fast, and pouring the butter into it slowly. Then our Hollandaise sauce is ready. So after everything is poured, all the butter is poured into it, our Hollandaise sauce is ready. We can add some salt and then pepper. Then the Hollandaise sauce is based for béarnaise. So the béarnaise, we have Hollandaise sauce, then we add tarragon and chervil. So we chop it finely and add it to the Hollandaise sauce, and our béarnaise is ready. Then we have sauce choron. The sauce choron, after we have had our béarnaise sauce, then we add tomato paste to it, and our sauce choron is also ready. Then we have demi glaze. The demi glaze has its base as Espanol, the Espanol sauce. Then we add brown roux to it. So I will explain the Espanol sauce, then we add brown roux to it to have our demi glaze sauce. So the Espanol sauce, you make a beef stock, which is made from beef and vegetables. So or we can order an already made beef stock. Then we roast the vegetable. We cut the vegetables into mirabwa. So these vegetables can be onion, celery, carrot. We will cut it into mirabwa. Then we roast it in the oven. Then after that, we will mix the roasted onion vegetables with tomato and tomato paste and the beef stock together with a bouquet garden, and put it on fire and let it simmer slowly so that the liquid will reduce. So after we have roasted the vegetables in the oven, we mix it with the tomato paste and the beef stock. Then we will put it on fire for it to reduce. Then when it reduces, then we have our Espanol sauce. So this Espanol sauce is what we use for the demi glaze. So that we will make a brown roux. So the brown roux is basically made from butter and flour. So we will fry the butter, we will fry the flour in the butter until it becomes very brown, like chocolate brown. Then we will pour the Espanol that we made, Espanol sauce, into it. And then when everything that is done, we add our spices, seasoning, and that is a demi glaze sauce. So we move to beurre blanc sauce. So the beurre blanc sauce, we will first saute onion, then we add the liquids, white wine vinegar, white wine, and lemon. So after we saute the onion, we add the three liquids, which is the white wine vinegar, white wine, and stock to it. Then we will make it reduce. We will make it reduce into half. Then we will strain it, and that liquid is what we will use as a base for our beurre blanc. So then we will cut a lot of butter. So with the base, we will put the base on fire, then we whisk the butter into the base. We will add chives if we want to eat, to have and spicy seasoning, and our beurre blanc is ready. We move on to the fourth question. We have lobster. We have boila baisse. So this one, the ingredients include fish, leek, parsley, oil, orange zest, chili, olive oil, onion, fennel, garlic. So we saute the onion, garlic, celery, and carrots in the olive oil. We saute it. Then after that, we add potatoes to it. So after we add the potatoes to it, we saute it for a while. Then we add fennel, saute it, and then we add our fish to it and saute it. We cut the fish into pieces and add it to it. Then we add the mussels to it and saute it and add stock to it. So after we add the stock, we will let it simmer until it becomes thick. Then we season it, and our boila baisse stock sauce is ready. Then we have the quenelle sauce. So this with the quenelle sauce, the ingredients include fish, egg, heavy cream. It can be sour cream, pepper, spices. So with this, we will wash and cut our fish into small pieces. Then we will puree it. We will puree the fish until it's very smooth. Then we gradually add egg white to it. Then we will puree it again until all the bones is gone. So we will pass the fish through a sieve and make sure all the bones is gone. Then after that, we will saute onion in butter. Then we add the puree fish to it, and then we will continue to saute it. Then after that, we will add sour cream to the mixture. Then we season it, and our quenelle is also ready. So the next one is the oily. So the ingredients include onion. We will make all these things into paste: onion paste, garlic paste, ginger paste, and we have oil, we have flour, we have egg, we have vinegar, and baking powder. So first we will marinate the fish fillet. We will cut the fish into small fillets, and we marinate it into onion, garlic, and the ginger paste that we have. We will marinate it for about an hour. Then after that, we will mix the wheat flour, corn flour, baking powder, egg, and water into a liquid, not so liquid, but like something that we can dip the fish into and fry. So after that, we will dip the fish into that mixture and we will deep fry it, and that is the oily, and it's done. Then we have the langote. So this langote is made from lobster, and then we will blanch the lobster in salted boiling water. Then we will pass the lobster into through flour, egg wash, and then breadcrumbs. We will pass it through it. Then we will deep fry. So it's like deep fried lobster. After we blanch the lobster, we will pass it through flour, egg wash it, and breadcrumbs. Then after that, we will deep fry it, and this one, it can be served with mayo as a dip. Then we have our salmon fume, which is almost like smoked salmon. So we have our salmon. Then we will clean and wash it. We will put it into the, you can cut it or make it into the fillets. Then we will put it into the smoker for it to smoke it, and cut it into smaller pieces and serve. We have the salad de crevettes. This is made from prawns, onion, cherry tomatoes, cucumber, corn kernels, and romaine lettuce. So we will mix everything together. We can also make a vinaigrette for it or a sauce for it. So it's basically a salad made from prawns or shrimps. Then we have our so our next is the soto mayo. So that one, the soto mayo, we cut a pike fillet. We use it with pike fillets. So we cut the pike fillets into half. Then mix in a bowl. We will mix lemon juice, onion, and cooking oil and parsley in a bowl. We will mix that in a bowl. Then we will turn the pike perch fillets into this mixture. We will like marinate it into this mixture of the lemon juice, the onion, the cooking oil, and parsley. We will marinate it for at least 4 hours. Then we will make the sauce. So the sauce, we will make it for mushroom, chopped shallot, and onion. So we will saute the mushroom and onion and shallot in butter, but it doesn't have to be brown. Then we will sprinkle with flour and mix it very well. Then we add cream and milk together to the sauce, and then we will make it a little bit thick. Then we will add a little bit of cream. If it's too thick, we add a little bit of cream. Then we will season with salt, pepper, and lemon juice. So after our sauce is ready, we will turn the fish pieces over in the flour seasoned with salt and pepper. We will season a flour with salt and pepper. Then we will heat oil very high. Then we will deep fry the oil. And we will deep fry the fish, the pipe that has already been marinated and also turned into a salted and pepper flour. So we will deep fry that fish. Then we will serve it with the sauce, and that is our soto mayo, and it is done. So we have the next on our list is the poisson à la merne. So this one is made from fish. So we will have the fish. It is made from fish. We will add flour. We will use brown rice flour. We will have butter, oil, olive oil, onions, parsley, garlic, and capers. So for the fish, we will first clean the fish and dry it with caliter. Then we will check for bones if there are any bones in the fish. If there are no bones, then we put the fish on a plate. Then we will take our flour. We will spice the flour with pepper and salt. So after we spice the flour with pepper and salt, we will cut the fish into half, into manageable sizes. Then we will pass the fish around the flour so that there is flour all around the fish. Then we will take all the excess flour away. Then we will heat the oil. We will heat oil and then fry the fish. So after we heat the oil and we put the fish in the oil to fry, then after we fry it, we will take it out and put it on a plate and cover the fish with a tin foil so that it is kept warm. Then we make the sauce. So with the sauce, we will marinate red onion in a juice, lemon juice. We will marinate it, set it aside. Then we choose a frying pan. Then we will when we take the frying pan, we will melt butter and make it a little bit brown, not so brown. Then we add the lemon juice gently. Then we add parsley. We add the red onion. The red onion that has been marinated, we will add it with the lemon juice that was used to marinate it. Then we add capers to it. We chop capers and add to it and mix all the ingredients into the brown butter and the lemon juice until everything has been mixed. Then after that, we will take our fish. We will season the sauce. We take our fish, then we serve it with the sauce, and then our poisson à la marinière is ready. Then we have waleuska. So the waleuska is made of fish, shrimp, and mushroom. So basically, we will poach the shrimp for about 7 minutes. Then after we poach the shrimp, we will place the shrimp, each shrimp on a fish. The fish can be poached as well. So we poach the shrimp. We will place the shrimps on a fish. Then we will saute mushroom and serve it on the side, and that is our waleska. And that we will move to the number 5, which is the meat dishes. With the meat dishes, we have entrecote. So the entrecote is made with basically beef and garlic, chili, lime, oil. So we will cut the beef into 180 grams. Then we will marinate it in garlic paste, garlic, chili, lime, and oil. The garlic should be paste, the chili should be paste, and oil. We will marinate the beef into it and refrigerate it for about 2 hours. Then after that, we will grill it with the oven, and our entrecote is done. So we will move on to our chateaubriand. So that one too is, all these things are made with beef. So we will have our beef. We will make this chateaubriand with beef, salt, pepper, and a little bit of oil. So we will season the beef with salt and pepper, then we will fry it for color in a frying pan. Then we will put the beef on a rack and grill it in the oven and serve it with we can serve it with red wine sauce, but first we have to slice the beef that has been grilled into slices, then serve with red wine sauce and some vegetables. We move on to our tornadoes. The tornadoes, the ingredients are beef, onion, garlic, lemon, ketchup. So we cut beef into sticks, round sticks. Then we combine the steak sauce, ketchup, marmalade, lemon, onion paste, garlic paste. Then we will combine all these things together. Then we will brush these things on the beef steak. We will brush it all around the beef steak, like coating it. Then after that we will season it with salt. Then we will grill it for about 5 minutes. So for every 5 minutes we will take it out, you turn it, then we brush it again, and you do it over and over until the beef is well cooked. And that is our tornadoes. And we will move on to our filet mignon. The filet mignon, we have beef, oil, thyme, rosemary. So we will we will cut the beef into steak. You can use beef, you can use pork. Cut it into steak. Then we will heat oil in thyme and rosemary. We will, like we are frying it for color, but this time we will add thyme and rosemary to the oil that we are using it to fry for color. So every time we will scoop some of the oil and we put on the beef and turn it, and then we will until the color is done, so that one will give it flavor. Then we will put the beef on a rack. Then we will pour the liquid that was used to fry it. That liquid, we will pour it all over the beef and transfer it to the oven, and then we will grill. After that we take it out, we will slice it and serve. Then we have our noisettes. The noisettes, we will use lamb noisettes. Then lamb, we have lamb olive oil. So with this noisette, we will use lamb noisette. Then we will rub it with salt and pepper. We will cut the lambs into a small part. Then we will rub it with them with salt and pepper. And then we will use olive oil. We will heat it for a little bit. Then we will fry the lamb for color. After that, we will roast it in the oven. Then we will slice it into 10 slices. Then we will make layers of the 10 slices. We will make it into layers, and then we will serve it. Then we have the cotellette. The cotelettes, we will have beef. We will use beef. Then we will need breadcrumbs. We will need cheese. We will need garlic, salt, pepper. So we will cut the beef into fillet slices, manageable slices. Then we will beat it with food hammer until it is flat. So for each slide, it has to be flat. We will beat it with food hammer for it to be flat. Then we will beat egg and season the egg. Then breadcrumbs, we will add breadcrumbs, cheese, garlic, salt, and pepper together. So we will coat the beef with the breadcrumbs mixture. Then we will coat that beef that has been beaten with breadcrumbs mixture. Then we will fry it. We will add the egg mixture. We will coat it with the egg too. Then we will fry it. We will fry it for each side. It has to come out like the golden brown each side, and then the cotellette is ready. Then the bouillon bourguignon, we will use bacon, beef, oil, wine, flour, tomato puree, garlic and herbs, carrot, onion to make it. So we will first start by frying the bacon. We will fry the bacon to be crispy. So after that, we will cut the beef into small parts, and then we will fry the beef using the bacon fat. We will use it to fry the beef too. Then we will set it aside. Then after that, we will take it out, and we can use the same fat, or we will add a little bit of butter or oil. Then we will saute onion, carrot, pepper, and mix it very well. Then we add our red wine to it, and then we will change it into a whisk and add flour. Whisk it very well. We will add flour to it and whisk it very well, that the flour has is very well, there is no lump, and it's a little bit thick. Then we add our tomato paste to it. We will add garlic that has been crushed to it. We add a little bit of herbs and season to it. Then we will cut mushroom and add to it. Then after that, we will add our crispy bacon and beef that has been fried. We will add it together. Then we will cook it until the beef is tender. Then we will serve it. That is the brave burgundian. Then we will move on to the Correa de filet. So that's one too. We are going to use we are still using a tenderloin. We will use a tenderloin meat to do that one. So we will brown the meat in oil. We will just fry it for color, brown it with oil. Then after that, we will rub seasoning on the surface of the meat all over. Then we will put it in the oven and grill it in the oven. Then after that, we will cut the meat into slices and serve. It can be served with a red wine sauce and some vegetables with potatoes. Yeah. Then we move on to cog oven. That one too, we are going to use bacon. We are going to use chicken to make that one, and we will use wine and chicken salt, mushroom, chicken stock, mushroom, onion, carrots, and some season and butter to do it. And we can add thyme to it. So for the recipe, we will fry the bacon until it's crispy. Then we will dry the chicken with caliter. Then we will rub salt and pepper all over the chicken. We will cut it into manageable sizes. Then we will rub salt and pepper all over it. Then we will brown the chicken as well on every side in the frying pan. Then after that, we will add carrots, onion that has been chopped, carrots that has been chopped, onion that has been chopped, peppered, and cook the mixture for a while. After that, we will add cognac to it. And after the cognac has been mixed and everything, we will add the bacon and chicken, and then we will add a little bit of wine to it. And chicken stock, we will add chicken stock too to it. Then cook it for a little time, add some thyme to it, and allow it to simmer. So on another pan, we will saute mushroom and onion and add it to the stew. So after the stew is, we will cook the stew for a while, and after it is, we will season it with salt and maybe pepper if needed. And after that, our cog oven stew will be done. Then we will move on to escalope pane. This one, we are going to use egg, flour, lemon, mustard, and veal to do it. So this one, we are going to whisk the egg with flour. Then we will add a little bit of lemon juice and mustard to it, and we will whisk it together. Then we will coat the veal with the mixture that we have mixed, and we will season it. We will season it, and then we will put in the fridge for a little bit, a little bit of time. After that, we will cut the veal that has been coated. We will cut it into smaller pieces. Then we will shallow fry it until it is golden brown, and we will serve it. And that is the escalope pane. We will move on to the filet a la Oscar, which is made with also we will make that one with meat, butter, or we can use either butter or oil. So this one, we can also we will cut the meat into steak slices. Then we will flip it on every side, and then we will coat it with salt and pepper on every side. Then we will just fry it for color and put it in the oven for the oven to cook it grill it until it is done. Then after that we will saute asparagus, and then we will make hollandaise sauce, and then serve it with it, and our filet a la Oscar is done. Then we have filet provençal. With the filet provençal, we will use beef, potatoes, and garlic, butter, parsley to do it. So this one, we will season the beef, then we will season it, then we will grill it, and we will fry it for color first, then we will grill it, then we'll cut it into slices, and then we will fry it again in oil for a little bit to warm it. Then we will also take potatoes, then we will slice the potatoes with a mandolin, very thin slices. Then we will steam it first, then we will fry the potatoes. Then after we fry the potatoes, we will have a dish, a dish for like those kind of dishes that are used for casserole. Then we will cut the beef fillets into very small sizes. Then we will spread potatoes on the dish bottom. Then we will add the we will spread the beef on top of the potato. Then we will serve it. So that is it. But before we put the before we put the meat in the oven, we will first coat it with olive oil, chopped parsley and garlic before we oven it. So then we move on to hodgepodge. So that's one, we are going to soak barley overnight. We are going to use barley, carrots, turnip, kale, onion, and beef to do it. So that one, we are going to we will soak barley overnight. Then we will chop carrot, turnip, chop kale, onion, beef, and cook it. We will chop all those things. Then we will cook the beef in salty water. Then after that, we will also chop a leek and cabbage finely. So all these vegetables, we will chop them finely, and then we will add we will first saute onion, and then we will add the carrot to it. Then we will add the soaked barley. We will boil the soaked barley on a different stove. We will boil it with water. When it is done, then we will add it to the sauté vegetables, onion, carrot, turnip, kale, leek, cabbage. We will add the soaked barley into it. Then after that, we will season it. After seasoning it, then we will add we will cut the beef into slices and serve. Then we move on to marengo. So the marengo, we are going to use chicken, flour, onion, bell pepper, olive oil. So we will coat the chicken, we will cut the chicken into manageable sizes. Then we will coat it with flour. Then we will saute onion and bell pepper in olive oil. Then we will take it out. After we saute it, we will take it out. Then we will saute the coated chicken until it is brown. Then we will saute mushroom too separately. Then we will also saute garlic separately until it's a little bit brown. Then we will add after we saute the garlic, we will add wine to the mushroom. After we saute the garlic, we will add onion to the saute garlic. Then we will saute everything. Then we will add a mushroom. The mushroom that has been sauteed, we will add it to the garlic that has been sauteed. Then after we add the mushroom, we will add a red wine to it, to the mixture, and mix it a little bit. Then we add chicken stock also to it. We will also add lemon juice to it and let it simmer for a while. Then we will add tomato puree to it. Then after that, the onion and bell pepper that has been chopped, we will add it to the sauce. Then we will add salt and pepper to taste. Then after that, we will add the chicken that has been fried for color and allow the chicken to cook until the chicken is tender. Then we will taste for season if there is not enough season, and our maringo is done. We move on to our navarin. So this, we are going to use lamb, oil, flour, tomato paste, garlic, stock, wine, potatoes, carrots, beans, and peas to make. So this one, we are going to season the lamb. Then we will brown it in oil. We will fry it for color in oil. Then after that, we will saute onion in butter. Then we will add flour to it, then fry it for a little bit. Then we will add tomato paste to it, add garlic, add stock and wine to it. Then we will continue to stir it until it's a little bit thick. Then we will blanch carrots and beans and peas and add it to the mixture and season it. If it tastes good, then the lamb that we have, we will put this sauce away. Then we will take our lamb, we will cut it into small pieces, and then we will put it in the oven for it to cook. And after that, we will add the lamb into our stew or our sauce. And then the pate de foil. So we are going to use liver for this. Liver, cream, lemon juice, Worcestershire sauce, onion, chicken stock, cognac, brandy for it. So first we will marinate the liver in cream for about 8 hours. Then we will take it aside. Then we will rinse it and boil it. And after that, we will rinse it and boil it again. Then we will strain the liver. Then with chicken sauce, we will fill the liver with a little bit of chicken sauce. Then we will saute onion, and then we will blend all the other ingredients with the liver except spices. So we will add cognac, brandy, Worcestershire sauce, and then we will, and a little bit of chicken stock. We will blend everything with the liver and make a paste. Then after that, we will saute onion. Then we will add the blended mixture into the onion. Then we will make it a little bit thicker. Then after that, we will mold it. And then we will cover it and refrigerate it. And after we cover it and refrigerate it, we will take it out and heat it in the oven and serve. Then we have our ragout. The ragout, we are going to make it with beef, onion, tomatoes, wine, olive oil, stock, and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. So we will season the beef. Then we will brown it in butter or oil. Then after that, we will strain the fat. Then we will saute onion. Garlic, celery, and in the olive oil. Then we will add wine to it. Stir a little bit. Then we will add tomato puree to it. Stir a little bit. We will add stock to it. Stir it. Allow it to simmer. Then we will add season to it. Then we will add the beef. We will cut the beef into smaller portions and add it to the sauce and allow it to simmer. Then we will use a fork to shred the beef into small pieces and allow it to simmer. Then after that, we will cook pasta in salt water and add Parmesan cheese to it. And then we will serve it, the beef sauce and the pasta together. And that is the ragout. Then we have tartar. For tartar, we will separate egg yolk and we will separate egg yolk from the white. So we are going to make the tartar with minced meat, shallots, capers, and egg, and a little bit of mustard and olive oil. So with this one, we will separate egg yolk from egg white. Then we will chop the shallots and capers. Then we will add mustard and olive oil to it and mix it together. After we mix it together, we will add the minced meat to the mixture. Then we will season with salt. Then we will mold it into a round mold. So this one, we are going to serve it with raw egg yolk. Raw egg. So we will serve it like that. And that is the tartar. Then we have pot au feu. So this one we are going to make with onion, leek, celery, beef shanks, and parsley, thyme, bay leaf, and maybe bouquet garni. So this one we will saute the onion, chop onion, leek, celery, and beef shanks together. Then we will wrap parsley, thyme, bay leaf as bouquet garni. Then we will add stock to it and we will allow it to simmer for a little while. Then we will take away the fat that will come on top of it. Then we will add more leek and celery and carrot to it and cover. Then allow it to simmer. Then we will peel potatoes and cut it. Then we will add it to it for it to cook. Then we will clean meat, cut it into smaller portions and add it to it and allow it to cook. Then we will add some sour cream and mustard to it and season it, and our pot au feu is ready. Then we have Wellington. The Wellington we are going to make with fillets, beef. We will brown it. We will brown the beef. Then we will brush it with mustard, and then we will put it aside, and we will cut it into sizable sizes and put it in the oven for it to grill in the oven. Then we will make the mushroom. We will puree the mushroom. After we puree the mushroom, we will saute it until it is dry. Then we will wrap the fillet in the mushroom puree. Then we will use plastic to wrap the mushroom in a ham. We will put a ham there, then we will put the mushroom there, then we will wrap it, and then we will put it the mushroom inside the plastic. Then we will wrap it very tightly and wrap it again. So after we have wrapped it with the after we have wrapped the mushroom with the ham, we will take a puff pastry. Then we will brush the puff pastry with egg yolk. Then we will wrap the mushroom that has been wrapped with ham. We will wrap it with the puff pastry. Then after that, we will egg wash it. Then we will bake it in the oven. After we bake it in the oven, we will slice it and then we will serve. And that is our Wellington. So the Wellington is basically beef that has been shredded, wrapped together with mushroom and puff inside the puff pastry, and then baked and then sliced. That is it. Then we move on to the pastries. With the pastries, the first one is brioche. So the brioche, we use milk, flour, egg, sugar, salt, yeast, and butter to make it. So we will mix the sugar, salt, flour, baking powder together, and then we will warm the milk. Then we will combine the milk with the yeast. After we combine the milk with the yeast, we will combine it with the dry ingredients, which is the flour, baking powder, salt, sugar. Then we will add egg gradually to it until it's mold. Then after that, we will cut butter, small sizes. Then we will add the butter to it. We will add butter to it gradually until the mold is ready. Then we will add a little bit of salt to it. and everything is ready. Then we will mold it into sizable sizes and bake. And after it, then it is done. Our brioche is done. Then we move on to a bouche. The bouche we are going to make with flour, eggs, sugar, salt, butter, water, smooth flour, egg, sugar, salt, butter, and water. So we will smoothly mix everything together, all these items together, and put it in a piping bag. Then we will pipe it into a sheet pan and bake it, and serve it with We will pipe it into a sheet pan and bake it, and then serve it with chicken filling. We will fill it with chicken, and that is that. And we have our croissant. We are going to make it with flour, milk, water, sugar, salt, and butter, and eggs and egg. So we will make the dough we will first mix the dough with flour, milk. We will warm the milk. We will add a little bit of water, sugar, salt, butter, yeast, and egg. We will add everything together and make a dough. Then after that, we will knead the dough. After we knead the dough into a very flat rectangular form, then we will cut it into rectangle. We cut it into triangular forms. Then after we get all these triangular forms, we will then roll it into the croissant and egg wash it, and then we will bake it, and our croissant is ready. And we have crouton. So this crouton, we are going to the croutons with crouton, we will cut bread into a sizable sizes. Then we will deep fry the bread until it becomes very crispy, and our croutons is done. Then we move on to eclair. And eclair, we are going to make it with egg, cornstarch, milk, sugar, butter, flour, salt. So we will combine water and milk and boil. Then we will add flour. Then we will take it out of fire. Then after that, we will in another bowl we will put we will beat we will make a in another bowl we will combine water, milk, and boil. After the water and milk has been boiled, we will add flour to it. Then we will mix it very well. Then we will put it in a new bowl and mix it until the dough is smooth. Then we will add egg to it and continue mixing until the dough is smooth. Then we pipe it into a silicone baking sheet, and then bake it for about 10 minutes. Then we will heat warm milk and vanilla sticks. We will heat it. Then we will whisk sugar and cornstarch and add salt and eggs. Whisk it until it is very smooth. Then we will add the hot milk. That hot milk that was cooked with vanilla stick, we will add it to the sugar, cornstarch, and salt mixture. Then we will add it. Then after that, we will bring the mixture to boil until it is very thick. Then we will cut butter into it, and then we will mix it very well. Then we will refrigerate it. Then this will be our filling. Then we will melt chocolate and add whipped cream to it, and then we will whisk it until it is smooth. So to make the eclair, we will take our dough, and then dough that has been cooked, we will cut the middle and pipe the filling inside the middle. Then we will seal it. Then after that, we will put it back into the refrigerator for it to be hard. When it is hardened, we will dip the eclair into the melted chocolate and put it into the chiller for it to be hardened, and our eclair is ready. Then we move on to the mele fevele. That one, we are going to use eggs, cocoa powder, cornstarch, sugar, cream, vanilla beans, butter, frozen puff pastry to do it. So this, we are going to warm the milk and vanilla seeds. Then we will, in another bowl, we will whisk sugar and cornstarch we are going to, after we cook the after we warm the milk and vanilla sticks, we will take another bowl. Then we will whisk sugar and cornstarch, and we will add egg yolk to it and whisk it until it is smooth. Then we will add the milk that was boiled, the milk and the vanilla. We will add it to it. Then we will boil it until it is a little bit thick. Then we will add butter. Then we will cut the puff pastry into sizes. Then we will put it in a sheet pan. Then we will bake it. After it, we will fill it with the puff pastry with the mixture and so after we fill it, we will put the big puff pastry there. Then we will pipe the mixture. We will pipe it onto the puff pastry. Then we'll put another puff pastry on top. We will do that until like 3 steps, and our millefeuille is done. Then we have quench Lorraine. That one we are going to use flour, butter, eggs, creme fraiche, cream, nutmeg, smoked ham to do it. So we will combine the flour, butter, egg yolk, water, and mix into a dough. Then we will roll it. After we mix it into a dough, we will roll the dough so it is smooth. Then we will put into a sheet pan and bake. Then after that, we will fry the ham until it is dry. Then we will beat creme fraiche and add cream to it and add egg to it and beat. And then we will add a little bit of salt, not milk, and we will pour about 3/4 of the pastry that has been made. We will pour it, the pastry, we will pour it and bake it. And then we will add the rest to it, and then we will add cheese on top of it and bake it. And then our quench Lorraine is ready. Then we move on to voile au vent. So this one we are going to use puff pastry. We will roll the puff pastry and cut the center of the puff pastry, and then we will cut one small and then one big. We will cut it into round. One of them is small and one of them is big. So we will put the big one on the base. Then we will egg wash the side of it. Then we will put the small one on it. Then we will bake it. We will egg wash it again and we will bake it. So after that, after baking it will puff up and become very round, very nice. Like the big one will be on the bottom and the small one will be there. So that one is basically puff pastry that has been cut and baked. And our pastries is done. So we move on to the desserts. So the dessert, the first one is fondant. And fondant, we are going to use marshmallows, icing sugar, water, color, flavors to it. So we will to make it, so we will microwave the water and marshmallows. We will microwave it, and then we will mix it, stir it very well until it is very smooth. Then we will microwave it again until there is no lump in the marshmallows. Then we will add the color, flavor, and then stir it until it is very even. Then you add the icing sugar to it, and then you stir it very well. Then you move it onto the table, knead it like you are kneading a bread dough. Then if you want to add more color, you add and knead it very well, and then you start to use the knead to do it very well until it is very smooth and it is no more sticky. Then you cut, roll, and then you cut and use it, and our fondant is ready. And we have then we move on to our jelly. So this one we are going to need a fruit puree or juice, and we will have our gelatin and a little bit of honey or sugar. If you want to, we can also add sugar to it. So this, we have our fruit juice or fruit puree. Then we will soak the gelatin into water until it is very soft. Then we will put the fruit puree on fire and then heat it for a little while. Then we will add the gelatin into it. After we add the gelatin into it, then we will add sugar and honey to it, and everything has been ready. Then we will pour it into a dish and put it into a chiller, and then it is done. Our gelée is done. Then we move on to the nougat. So with the nougat, we are going to make with almond, pistachio, edible rice paper, icing sugar, liquid glucose, and egg white, and a little bit of vanilla extract. So this, we are going to put sugar, glucose, and water into a saucepan. Then we will whisk egg white, for the egg white to be very heavy, that it will, if you pour it out, it will not pour. Then it is done. Then we will heat honey until it is 121 degrees Celsius and add it to the egg white and whisk it. Then we will make a syrup with sugar and water and pour the syrup into the egg white mixture. Then we will cook it. We will continue to bake it until they are all thick. Then we will add nuts, vanilla extract, and a little bit of salt to it. Then finally we will put it on top of the rice paper, and then it is done. It is done. And then we will go to sorbet. So the sorbet, we are going to need a fresh fruit, sugar, lemon juice, ice cream base, which is the vanilla castike, or we can make it ourselves using cream and milk and sugar and eggs to make. And then we will freeze. So we are going to, after we have our vanilla base, we will grind the vanilla base. We will have we can make our own vanilla base, or we can our own ice cream base, or we can have the ice cream base ready. Then we will blend it together with the fruits and the sugar and lemon juice. We mix everything together. Then after that, we will put everything into an ice cream machine and grind it until it is hard, and then serve, and our sorbet is ready. So we will move on to a souffle. So the souffle, we are going to make it with butter, flour, salt, milk, egg, cream. So we will melt butter, add flour to it, add salt and stir, add milk and stir. Then we will continue cooking until it's thick and smooth. Then we will add egg yolk and egg white with cream until we will beat egg white with cream until it's very stiff. So this egg yolk, we will fold the mixture into the egg white. We will fold it gently, little by little. Then after that, we will pour it into everything, the mixture. We will pour it into a casserole dish, and then we will bake, and our souffle is ready. Then we have syrup. Syrup is basically cooking water, salt in sugar in water, and then we can add a little bit of honey for taste. And we will move on to meringue. The meringue we are going to make with egg white, icing sugar, and then so in a bowl we will whisk egg white until it is fluffy and stands up. Then we will add sugar little by little to it and continue whisking. Then we will add sugar, icing sugar. We will mix it with a spatula until it is smooth. Then we put it in a piping bag. Then we pipe it into a big sheet pan and bake it and cool it down. And our meringue is ready. Then we move on to our melba. So the melba, we will be using berries and sugar. So we will mix berries and sugar together. Then we will put it into we will mix everything together and add a little bit of we will add water to it and let it boil. Then after it is boiled, then we will crush the berries. Then we will strain it with a chinois. So the liquid that will come out of it, we will put the liquid back on fire. Then we will mix potato starch with water. Then we will begin to thicken it until it is thickened. So when it's thickened and it makes this blub blub sound, then we will take it out and our melba is ready. Then we move on to mousse. The mousse, we will make custard base like the vanilla castike with egg yolk, sugar, vanilla, egg, yolk, sugar, milk and cream mixed together. Then we will heat milk and cream and vanilla stick together. Then we will have our egg yolk mixed with sugar. We will pour the milk and cream onto the egg yolk and sugar mixture. Then we will put it in a big marine and continue whipping until the egg is no more fresh, and that is our custard base. So since we have our custard base or our vanilla custard, we will then heat and we will continue with the mousse. So after we are done with our vanilla so after our vanilla custard is ready, we will chill it. And then we will take it out. Then we will have egg white. We will take egg white, then we will whisk the egg white until it is fluffy. When the egg white is fluffy and stiff and it is not falling, then we will fold it into the vanilla custard. Then we will chill again, and then we will serve with berry toppings. We move on to our parfait. With the parfait, we are going to use strawberry, honey, granular, sugar, cream. So we will whisk an egg, lemon and sugar. So we will whisk egg, then we will add lemon and sugar and continue whisking. Then after that, we will add cream and continue to whisk. Then we will pour the mixture into a silicone tin. Then we will put it into a sheet pan and fill the sheet pan with the half of the sheet pan with water. So we will cook the parfait in the oven in water, in the oven, and then it is done. Then we come to a péteux first. This one we are going to make cake with. We are going to make cake, basically cake batter, sugar, flour, egg, vanilla essence, baking powder. We will add everything and use it to make our cake mixture. Then we will make the cake. Then we will cut the cake into layers. Then we will prepare the filling. So with the filling, we are going to need raspberry jam, vanilla buttercream, fruit puree, and chocolate buttercream. So we will we will mix everything together. Then we will spread the fillings onto each rectangle, and then we will cover with we will cut the cake into rectangle. Then we will fill it with the filling. Then we will cover with another rectangular cake. Then we will chill and serve, and our péteux is ready. Then we will move on to our blanc manger. Blanc manger, we are going to use cornstarch, milk, vanilla essence, sugar to do it. So we will add cornstarch to milk. Then we will heat the milk until and then we will add vanilla starch, vanilla essence to it until it becomes slimy. Then we will add sugar and stir and when it becomes thick, we will pour it into a cup or mold and refrigerate, and our blanc manger is ready. Then we move on to bavarois. With the bavarois, you are going to make it with cream, milk, egg yolk, sugar, gelatin, butternut scratch, butternut scratch, and you are done. So we will grease the baking pan or baking tin. Then we will bake the scratch roast. We will boil cream and milk together. After we boil cream and milk together, we will add roasted squash to it. After we add the roasted squash, then we will take it out and blend it until it is smooth. Then we will pour it onto eggs. We will crack the eggs, and then we will pour that blended roasted squash and milk and cream into the egg, and then we will add sugar to it, and we will mix it. Then we will put everything on heat. Then we will soak gelatin, and then we will add the gelatin to it. Then we will chill, and the beverage is ready. Then we will move to our charlotte russe. So this one we will first make syrup. Then after we make syrup with sugar and water, then we will grease pan. After we grease the pan, we will line the pan with plastic. Then we will dip our fingers into the syrup and line the side of the pan with them. So we will pour the syrup on the bottom, like the lady fingers. We will, when we pick the lady fingers, like the lady fingers, we will dip it into those lady fingers that we use it to make a tiramisu, those small biscuits. We will pick it, then we will dip it into a syrup, then we will use it to fill the edges of the pan. Then after we have filled the edges of the pan with all those lady fingers, then we will cover the bottom of the pan again with the lady fingers. You first dip the lady fingers into the syrup, then you put it into the pan, and that is how. Then after that we will fill the on top of it, the lady fingers that have been filled inside the pan and around the pan. We will fill it with whipped cream and vanilla that has been whipped together with egg and sugar and milk mixed together. Then we will mix everything. Then we will add gelatin to the mixture and mix it to a custard. Then we will fill it on top of the lady fingers that have been dipped into a syrup. Then we will mix it. Then we will put berries on top of it and refrigerate it, so it comes out like a cake. Then we go to our next one, which is crepe. Crepe we are going to make with flour, eggs, milk, water, butter, and that is what we are going to use to make. So we will mix flour and eggs together. Then we will add milk gradually. We add milk gradually and add water and salt and butter. Then we will beat it until it is smooth. Then we will grease pan and fill the mixture into the pan, and then we will cook for about 2 minutes. Then after we cook it for about 2 minutes, we will cooking it is like we are cooking it like frying a pancake. So when we mix all these things together, it will be like a pancake mixture. So we will fry it like a pancake, a front and side. Then we will fry it and our crepe is ready. Then we move on to our compote. The compote, we are going to use frozen fruit, honey, maple syrup, salt, and then that is it. So we will combine the fruit, sugar, salt, and bring it to boil. After that we will mash the fruit and allow it to simmer, allow it to be a simmer. Then we will smash the fruit to be very smooth, and then we will add more sugar to it, and then it is done. Our compote is done. It has to be smooth, and that brings us to the end of the dessert. So we move on to the other gastronomy terminologies. The first is the bouquet garni. The bouquet garni is a bundle of herbs that has been tied together, and it's used to prepare soup. It gives flavor. It's a bundle of herbs. Sometimes it's tied together with a rope, or it can be tied together in a calita and dip into a soup. Then we move on to brunoise. Brunoise is a cutting technique that is used to cut vegetables, diced cubes, fine. They are chopped fine, diced cube. Then we move on to frappe. Frappe is a drink that has been served with ice, and it's a drink that is served with ice or slushy consistency, and that is frappe. Then we move on to hors d'oeuvre. The hors d'oeuvre is a smoked salmon. We use smoked salmon, cucumber, red onion, capers to do it. So this one, we lay salmon on a clean surface. You lay the salmon on a clean surface, then you place the onion, capers and cucumber slice. We will cut them into slices and carefully roll it over the salmon, creating a wrap. So this one will be like the cucumber, onion and capers will be inside the salmon. It's wrapped inside the salmon. Then you secure it with toothpick and serve. So the smoked salmon that has been wrapped with into the smoked salmon that has been wrapped with that has a cucumber, onion and capers inside is what we call horse duvet. Then we have julienne. Julienne is also a cutting technique. That is, we cut the vegetables into thin long strips like matchsticks. Then we move on to legume. Legume is a fruit plant seed. It can also be called pulse. Example of a legume is a black-eyed peas or navy beans or kidney beans or green peas or peanut or lentils. They are all legumes. Then we move on to miel de pain. Miel de pain is a bread. A bread that is thin and soft crust. It has a crust outside and it's soft inside, and it is very good for making sandwich and toast. Then we move on to Milanese. Milanese is a cooking style which means dredging thin slices of meat or egg seasoned with breadcrumbs and frying them. So basically it's like coating with flour, eggs and breadcrumbs and deep frying them. So it can be done with meat or fish or chicken or even onions. Sometimes the onions are coated with those things and fried. Then we move on to mirepoix. Mirepoix is a cutting technique for cutting large chunks and into a rough diced mixture. So the mirepoix, it doesn't really have a style, like you cut it roughly. And we move on to nicoise. Nicoise in French means something that is nice. So it is a small variety of olives with rich nutty flavor. That is the nicoise. Then we move on to oeuf pochaise. The oeuf pochaise means poached eggs. So poached eggs, basically you need egg to make it, vinegar and salted water. So you boil salty water, you add a lot of vinegar to it, then you crack egg into it for about 4 minutes. We cook the egg for about 4 minutes. So when the egg comes, the outside egg white is solid, but the inside yolk is, when you cut it, is runny, and that is the oeuf poached egg. We move on to panade. The panade is a mixture of starch and liquid that is added to ground beef or other types of meat. An example is like when you mix bread and milk together for meat, like you mix bread and maybe when you are making meatballs, you can mix breadcrumbs and egg or breadcrumbs and milk to mix it together, and that is the panade. And we have we move on to paysanne. Paysanne is also a cutting technique to slice vegetables about 1 millimeter thick. So this one we can use maybe a mandolin to cut it into that slice. And we have a pomme frites, and it's also, the pomme frites is a French word. It can also mean potato chips or French fries. So we cut the potatoes like a finger size, then we deep fry it. After we deep fry it then we will put salt all over it. Then we have ravioli. So ravioli is a type of pasta. It's a type of pasta that's the pasta is enveloped in a thin dough, and it's like envelope. And to make it, you need flour, salt, olive oil, eggs, water. So we make a dough, then you will knead it to very flat, Then we will cut it and shape it into like an envelope form. You can fill the pasta with cheese or parsley or eggs or anything. You can fill the pasta with it, then after that you boil it in salty water, and the ravioli is done. Then we have the next is saute. So saute is a kind of quick frying method in hot oil or butter. Then we move on to our next one. We have a la carte. A la carte is a practice of ordering individual dishes from menu in a restaurant. So we have table d'hôte. That one, the menu is already offered to you. The customer in a way does not really have a choice than to order that one. But in a la carte, the customer has to order the dishes in any course. The customer has the right to order a dish in any course. Then we move on to al dente. Al dente describe a pasta or rice that is cooked to be firm to bite. So the rice is not cooked to be so soft. It is a little bit it retains a firm texture. It can be either rice or pasta. It is not so soft. It's a little bit firm. Then we move on to antipasto. It's a traditional first course of a formal Italian meal. So when you go to Italian restaurants, the first course meals are also known as antipasto. Then we have amuse. Amuse is amuse broches. Amuse broches, which is a small bite that is mainly given when you go for fine dinings, maybe 3-course or 5-course meals. There are preceding small bites that comes before the first course meal, and that is the amuse bouche. Those small bites, and mostly they are free in a restaurant. Then we move on to the aperitif. Aperitif is an alcoholic drink taken before a meal to stimulate the appetite. So an example of it is a blended sherry or light white wine. So it is a drink, alcoholic drink. Then we move on to ballotine. Ballotine is chicken thighs. Making it, you need chicken thighs, you need butter, you need carrots, you need garlic, you need shallot, salt and pepper. So we will saute shallot, garlic, carrots in butter. Then we will take the bone out of the chicken. We will take the skin too out of the chicken. Then we will grind the chicken meat with the shallot mixture that has been sauteed. We will grind it into a paste form. Then after that, we will take the skin of the chicken, then we will wrap the mixture that has been grinded, and then we will secure with a toothpick and roast it in the oven. And that is the ballotine. Then we have a Beurre Café de Paris. It's also a food, and we need butter, shallot, garlic, mustard, anchovy fillet, lemon, parsley, Worcestershire sauce, salt and pepper to make it. So in making it, we will beat butter until it is pale and cream. Then we combine everything in the food processor and blend till it becomes smooth. Then we season it and wrap it into, we will wrap it like a sausage into a plastic. We will wrap it, and then after we wrap it, we will grease proof paper and cling film it, and then we will put it in a grease paper. We will cling film it and we will refrigerate it. So after we refrigerate it and it is hard and firm, we will take it out and take all the plastic and the paper out and slice it and serve. And that is our Beurre Café de Paris. We move on to cocktail. Cocktail is an alcoholic mixed drink, which is either a combination of spirits or one or more spirits that has been mixed with other ingredients like fruit juice, flavored syrup, or cream. Then we move on to confit. Confit is a technique traditionally used to preserve meats by cooking them in their own fats. So the food is slowly cooked over a very long period of time. as a method of preservation. We have the next one is kolibiak. Kolibiak is a puff dough that is wrapped in rice, eggs, vegetables, mushrooms, salmon, and then we will roll it and then we will bake it, and after that we will slice it and serve, and that is a kolibiak. So we have our pig puff pastry, then we will saute onion, we will have cook rice, we will have vegetables like carrots, and other vegetables. We will saute it with the onion. We have mushroom, we have salmon. So we add everything together and wrap it in a puff pastry and bake, and that is a kolibiak. Then we have croquette. Croquette is a small ball or roll of vegetable, minced meat or fish in breadcrumbs or potatoes. So we have potatoes, eggs, breadcrumbs, flour, cheese, butter, salt, pepper. So we cook the potatoes and then we will strain. Then we will beat the egg yolk and add butter, add cheese and season. Then we will after we have that, we will have our the potato. So it will be in a paste form, since the potato will be mashed before we add the egg yolk, the butter and cheese. So it will be like in a paste form, or it will be very smooth. So we will mold this in a 50-gram each. Then we will coat with flour, eggs and breadcrumbs and deep fry it, and then we will bake it, and then our croquette is also ready. Then the next is a crustad. The crustad, we need flour, butter, onion, mushroom, whipped cream, white wine, cheese, bread crumbs, breadcrumbs to make it. So we will saute onion, add mushroom to it, and we saute until all the moisture is gone. Then we will add flour to it and mix a little bit. We will add cream and boil a little bit. Then we will add wine to it and allow it to be thick, and then we will remove it from heat and add pepper, parsley and salt. Then we will refrigerate it. Then we will grease pan and base it with bread dough, normal bread dough, and bake it. After we bake it, then we will take the filling out of the refrigerator and fill it and sprinkle with Parmesan cheese and put it in the oven and heat it up, and it is done. Then we have duchess. The duchess, we are going to make it with potatoes, cream, pepper, butter, egg. So we will boil and strain the potatoes. Then we will dice it. We cut the potatoes into small size. Then we will melt butter and mash it. So after we mash the potato and we add butter to it, then we will season it. With salt. Then we will add cream and continue mashing. Then we will add egg yolks to it and continue mashing until it is very smooth. Then we pipe it in a piping bag and then pipe it onto a sheet pan like we are piping cookie. Then we will brush it with butter and bake and serve, and that is the duchess. Then we have flambe. Flambe is a cooking procedure which alcohol is added to a hot pan to create a burst of flames. That's a flambe. And we have fondue. Fondue is food. We use cheese, lemon, mustard, brandy, white wine, cornstarch, garlic to make it. So to make it, we will mix cheese and cornstarch on fire, and then we will add white wine, lemon juice to it. Then we will add garlic to it and allow it to boil, and then we will add the cheese mixture. We will add the cheese mixture while stirring. Then we will add brandy to it and nutmeg, and then the fondue is ready. Then we have fume. Fume is a word used to refer to smoking. So when we say fume salmon, it means smoked salmon, or we can also smoke meat. Then we have gelatin. Gelatin is an ingredient derived from animal parts, for instance, their skin, which is used to add to food to make it jelly in a jelly form. And that is gelatin. And we have gnocchi. Gnocchi, we use a potato, flour, eggs to make it. So we will peel and cook the potatoes in the salty water. Then we will mash it and add flour to it and add egg and to it and combine it and add a little bit of salt, and then we will mold it into long shapes. We will, like a stick, we will mold it into long shape. Then we will cut it into half-inch pieces. Then after we have the hard after we cut it into that hard piece, half-inch pieces, we will boil it again in slightly salted water for about 3 to 5 minutes until it rises, and then we will drain and serve, and it is done. And we have gratin. Grating is a technique in which an ingredient is topped with a brown crust, often breadcrumbs. So we have grated cheese and or grated egg or grated butter. So the surface of the food that is grated will be crust. It will be crust, and that is it. And then we have a haricot vets. So haricot vets are green beans which are slightly longer and skinnier than regular green beans, and a little bit more expensive than regular green beans. And the haricot vets, they are harvested earlier than the regular beans. We have marinde. Marinde is a process of soaking food in a seasoned, often acidic. So we will soak food into a season which is often acidic liquid before cooking for flavor. That is marinate. To marinate something means to soak food into a liquid which is mostly acidic before we cook. And we have menu. Menu is a list of foods and beverages offered to customers with their prices so the customer can choose from. We have messe and place, which means putting everything in place. That is, before we start cooking, we have to arrange everything in place. You have to have your tools, your kitchen bowls all set. We cut and slice all vegetables. Ingredients are measured and cut. Before we start cooking, we have to arrange our equipment and put everything in place, and that is what messy and place is. Then we have reduction. Reduction is the process of thickening and intensifying the flavor of a liquid mixture such as soup, sauce, wine, juice by boiling. So we boil it for a lot more time before until the soup becomes thick, and that is the reduction. We have roti. Roti is a flat bread which is made from wholemeal wheat flour, which has Indian origin. So it is very flat. We use frying pan to do it, or we can also use either use frying pan to do it, or we can use a pizza oven to do it. Then we have roux. Roux is an equal measure of butter and equal flour that has been mixed together, and then we mix it together on fire. We have timbal. Timbal is a deep dish filling completely enclosed in a crust. The crust completely enclosed in the crust. So the crust can be sheet pastry, slice of bread, rice, or slice of vegetable. That is a timbal. It's a deep dish. Then we have terrine. So terrine is a dish of ground seafood, vegetable, boiled egg, herbs, or layers. So in a ceramic or steel loaf mold that is cooked in water bath, cooled, turned out, and sliced and served. So the terrine, the food is cooked in layers. We have potato terrine, so potato terrine, sliced potato terrine, then we will lay it, we will cook it in layers in the oven. After that, we will turn it out, then we will slice it, and then the terrine, that is the terrine. Thank you very much, these are the research I made, and thank you for the video. Bye bye.